The light shall bring victory.
We've got some beginner-friendly goodness coming your way today with a deck that revolves around getting some huge minions on the board, starting off from humble beginnings. We'll be running you through the basics of Combo Priest and teaching you how to play. So, the basis of the deck is utilizing low-cost, high-health minions, getting them to stick for a turn, and then buffing them for a quick one-turn kill. It's not the hardest thing to pull off. However, the archetype has been around since the dawn of Hearthstone, and competent opponents will know how to shut you down. So, let's take a look at the list, shall we? The whole basis of the deck revolves around giving a high health minion a huge health pool with Divine Spirit, and then jumping up its attack to silly levels with Inner Fire. We'll be looking to do that with some of our cheap to play minions which we can heal up, or by gradually buffing minions which we can quickly turn into a game-winning unit. The deck also features plenty of ways to draw cards, lots of minion healings, and a few ways to deal with board flood decks. We'll be honest with you, the deck is already in a good place as it is, with all the necessary tools to see you stomping many unexpected enemy. If you're looking for a bit of extra oomph, you could look into crafting Psychopomp for some high value plays, or a Met can be used, and can be great against opponents that can't deal with high health minions. If you're going to include either of these, you can cut out the Hench Clan Shade Quills. If you're itching to use your Priest quest, you can absolutely throw it in here if you want. We've plenty of healing in here, meaning we will trigger the quest, but it won't be as strong as a dedicated quest deck. From the start of the game, we're looking for 3 cards: our Cleric, our Light Warden, and our Tol'Vir. We can keep Power Word Shield and extra arms if we have an early minion to play them on, and if you're running a Met, you can keep it if you're up against a slower deck that has trouble with early high health minions, such as Druid, but if in doubt, just toss it away. If you're up against something that will look to go wide, and by that we mean lots of low cost minions early like a Murloc or Zoo deck, Wild Pyromancer can save your life and is definitely worth keeping. As a combo deck, we're going to be looking to get the pieces we need as quickly as possible, and we'll be doing that by utilizing our different ways to draw cards. Unfortunately for us, our opponent will be throwing minions on the board and trying to shut us down before we can enact our fiendish plan, but that's okay. We've plenty of ways to deal with any bothersome threats whilst we draw towards our objective. We want to be playing Cleric or Light Warden on turn 1, and injured Tol'Vir is great to get down on turn 2. And through our spells and hero power, we can buff him up and keep him healed to make him a lasting presence on the board. Once we've got something down, our aim is to provide minions we can trade with, slowing down our opponent, whilst also drawing as many cards as we can. Acolyte of Pain ticks both these boxes and is great to have on the board around turn 3 or 4 if possible, but we always want to get at least 2 draws out of him. Don't put him into any position where it can get immediately traded off. As we're drawing through our deck steadily, we'll have plenty of options in our hand. We can look to healing up our damaged minions with Ritualist to provide a balance of board pressure, or efficient trades and consistent card draw. The quicker you draw through your deck, the earlier you'll get the chance to finish off the game. Once we've got a minion that's stuck around and is able to attack, we can look at the possibility of closing it all out. If we've got a full health Blade Master on board, 2 Divine Spirits and an Inner Fire, that will turn it into a 28 damage minion, which in most cases will be enough to close out the game. That amount of damage will be sufficient to win in nearly every situation, but it's always possible to go higher. We can get our minions up to some pretty crazy stats, just don't get carried away trying. If your opponent removes it, whilst you're gradually buffing it turn by turn, your win condition will become immediately more difficult. We don't have the most options in terms of removal in the deck, so we need to use our limited resources wisely. Against opponents looking to flood the deck with lots of minions, our only real answer outside of a high health taunt is our Wild Pyromancer. Pyromancer can be tricky to use at first, and will require you to juggle your spells to find efficient triggers for it, but it can be incredibly versatile. The fact that it damages our own minions is a blessing in disguise, as it allows us to heal them back up and draw some cards if we have a cleric on board. Our other form of clear is even more situational. It'll either be a godsend or it will remain untouched throughout the game. Silence can be absolutely fantastic at shutting down pesky death rattles or removing the threat from heavily buffed minions. Against decks that'll look to build up their minions like a mech hunter, look to get high value out of your silence by using it on minions that your opponent has invested lots of mana and resources in. And there we have it, an easy to put together deck which will surely take many opponents by surprise. If you like the playstyle of one-turn kill decks, be sure to stay tuned for other videos where we'll be showing you more of that playstyle to get you the most satisfying win you can in Hearthstone.